Alright, USC vocab 81 through 100. The first word is Sedition Act, and it was an act of Congress that extended the Espionage Act of 1917 to cover a broader range of offenses. The next one is 14 points, and on January 8th, 1918, President Woodrow Wilson proposed a 14-point program for world peace. These points were later taken as a basis for world peace negotiations at the end of World War I. The next word is Treaty of Versailles. This was one of the peace treaties at the end of World War II. It ended the state of war between Germany and the Allied powers. It was signed on June 28th, 1919. The next word is Big Four. These were the leaders for the World War I peace treaty talks. This includes the Prime Minister David Lloyd George of Great Britain, Vittorio Orlando of Italy, George Clemenceau of France, and President Woodrow Wilson. Next word is League of Nations. It was an intergovernmental organization founded on January 10th, 1920, as a result of the Paris Peace Conference that ended the First World War. And then next word is the domestic impact from World War I. It fueled the belief of isolationism, the stock market crash, expansion of government powers and responsibilities in Britain, France, the United States, and dominions of the British Empire. Florida in World War I, the state provided perfect climate for year-round training of soldiers. There were naval ports all over the coast and many Army, Air, and Marine facilities. Next word is demobilization, the process of standing down a nation's armed forces from combat-ready status. This happens when a war has been won or is over, or a crisis has been solved, and military force will not be necessary. The next word is the Red Scare. It's the promotion of fear of a potential rise of communism or radical leftism. In the U.S., the first Red Scare was about worker revolution and political radicalism. Next word is Sacco and Vanzetti. Sacco and Vanzetti were Italian anarchists who were convicted of murdering a guard and a paymaster during the armed robbery of a shoe factory in Braintree, Massachusetts in 1920, and they were executed. Next word is Fordney-McCumber Act. This was a tariff of 1922 that raised American tariffs on many imported goods in order to protect factories and farms. The next word is the Dawes Act. It was an attempt to solve the reparations problem, which had been bedeviling the international politics following World War I. The Teapot Dome Scandal. It was a bribery incident that took place in the U.S. from 1921 to 1924 during the Harding presidency. Navy Petroleum was leased off to private companies without competitive bidding. The quota system is a system that started in 1921, and it limited the number of immigrants allowed to the U.S. By a certain percentage. The KKK revival was after 50 years of being disbanded. William Simmons revived the Klan after seeing a movie that portrayed the Klan as heroes. The Rosewood Incident was a violent and racially motivated conflict that took place during the first week of January of 1923 in rural Levy County, Florida. 6 African Americans were killed along with 2 whites, and the city of Rosewood was abandoned. The 18th Amendment was effectively prohibited alcoholic beverages by declaring the production, transportation, and sale of alcohol legal in 1920. But in 1933, it was ratified, making it the first and only constitutional amendment to be ratified. The Volstead Act, otherwise known as Prohibition Act, was to carry out the intent of the 18th Amendment and was just basically an accent to the 18th Amendment. Next word is the NAACP. It is the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. It is an African American civil rights organization in the U.S., and it formed in 1903. The mission is to ensure the political, educational, social, and economic equality rights of all persons and to eliminate discrimination. And the last word is W.E.B. Du Bois. He was a African-American socialist, historian, civil rights activist, Pan-Africanist, author and editor, and he was involved in really too many things to name.